Hi, how are all of you guys doing? Hope all is well. So, welcome to this channel that's going to be sharing for consumers and customers of banks. I see, you see, we all see what your trouble and pain points is. And we will gather it together. We'll present it. You don't need to come on a podcast. You can just email us and we'll blur it and share it for public awareness and education. Like in our case and in my case, where I've even submitted forms a few years ago, we have the managers there denying having taken those submissions, not just for one company, but for two companies. You know, we're self-made, bootstrapped entrepreneurs, and if this is what we have to face, I really dread to know what other lower middle class and poor people and women entrepreneurs are going through. So here it is just not about saying something and blaming, and that's not the end point at all, right? So actually even the stories is just the starting point, because whatever is the suffering, the person has gone through it, and those particular banks have been very lax, unprofessional. If they're overworked, understaffed, that's something they need to look in and they need to make things okay. Here we're just going to collect the different stories of what's happened, very serious matters, right? And see what are the subheadings that these all problems come under, and then present it, yearly once to the respective authorities and various forums, so this can be avoided. Today, Gen Z and even the next generations that will come after Gen Z and even millennials, we are all very social media friendly, and that's where even the awareness should be shared, the accountability should come in, right? I feel even 10 years back, banks were a little more customer service oriented. Not even 10 years, even 5 to 7 years. So before Corona, basically. I don't know what's happened post Corona. They're all just busy. I don't know. I don't want to say what they're doing. But there is no focus, especially with IC, we all see bank, to either take the documents the customer has given and then call us for KYC. And when we go for KYC and we submit also, we don't get the acknowledgement slip, right? So they don't give you the acknowledgement slip, and then later they deny. Only if you have communication that you have documented well, can you prove it? And really, don't Indians have better work than putting cases on these banks? It's time. That's why for politicians it's not an issue at all, right? Because the politicians, their house itself is a bank. The number of raids you see with the different, not just politicians, even government people, we keep reading every now and then one or two stories. This person here found with so many crores and crores and crores, whereas entrepreneurs who work hard, we only have lakhs and crores of debt, right? Till we decide to get funded and bootstrapped. So share your stories, guys. It'll just be for you like sort of a therapy where you felt you were alone, and now the whole thing is with my incident, me sharing. At least now it's creating the awareness for all of you guys. We'll conclude it, right? So it's not just about saying something. So the learning you're taking from this is, any bank you go to, like you have a customer reference number on the calls that they give you these days, but when you go into their bank as well, they are supposed to give you acknowledgement receipts for any document you submit. Usually it will be there at the bottom of the page, which will be ripped apart. Most of the public sector banks have a nice process to actually give this to you, but I'm not finding that in the private banks so much. I don't know about others. I'm only speaking about ICUC because my issue has happened there with them. So please guys, the learning from this video is, make sure every time you give a document, whether it's re-KYC or whatever it is, change of signatory, change of address, when you're physically gone and given a document, make sure you don't leave the bank unless you get an acknowledgement for it, because they can and they will deny having received it from you, which has happened in my case. I have 3 witnesses, 4 actually. Both the partners were present for both the companies. My staff was present, my driver was present. The person who made stamp is in front of his shop that we stamped, and we signed, and we submitted it in the rain, only for him to say now after 3-4 years, I gave you the document to fill in at your hotel lobby, but you never gave it back to me. And why would we do that, sir? Why would that too? This is we traveled, because I'm married and I'm based in another city. We traveled to the home city to give the documents. So friends, please make sure today's learning for the day with regards to bank is, you make sure you get your acknowledgement slip before you leave the bank. As you guys send in more story, we can learn one learnings from it and educate each other how to be careful and safe from these guys. Parallelly, all these stories will get collected, and like I said, once a year, whoever is the authority, RBI does monitor these banks, but maybe in some cases we might have to just collate it and also maybe submit it, as so many of the public are getting disturbed because of these things happening, where we're not at fault. We have not done anything wrong or illegal. It is them who are on the wrong side and holding our money and stopping us from accessing our own funds. It'll also, where a lot of people have put already cases on these banks. So even some of you, if you have put, you can send in your stories, and if some of it has come to a conclusion and judgment has been given, we can even share that. We have to drive the change, guys, as the next generation. All the changes in whichever sector, not just banking, is going to come through online similar efforts. And like I said again, here it's not against anyone or any one particular banks. So whichever story you're going to send me from whichever bank, I'm going to be reading it out, blurring your name, and we'll also have podcast to take people through. So you're just already, there are a lot of YouTube channels talking about a lot of insurance scams and different things happening with all sorts of banks. So this is just again one of those kind of channels, but here we want to educate you so you are already aware and your money doesn't get stuck, and you're careful enough. While on the other side, we are also sort of going to be the bridge to just do some advocacy and be a responsible group of citizens who just request the government and whoever the authority is to say, sir, see sir, because of this is so much of trouble happening already. For example, RBI in June 2025 has instructed the banks in the rural and the poorer regions, don't be so particular about all the KYC documents. Do open the bank account for them to encourage banking, right? So maybe as we give them suggestions in 2 to 3 years, even I trust the authorities and the government, the current government, to take steps in those directions, because after all, even different banking products has become popular, like UPI and different things. So it's just that none of us have been able to voice this online, because even on their YouTube channels, all the comments are disabled, right? So if anything has gone wrong, it's gone wrong big. Here we're talking about smaller pain points that happen to customers. Even bigger ones also we'll cover, but this is the idea of the channel, guys. And language translations will be on, I guess, after we get a minimum amount of subscribers, so you'll be able to access the same video in multiple languages, from Gujarati to Tamil to Hindi. I myself, I know how to speak Tamil, Hindi and Kannada, so maybe some of the next videos I might even shoot in those languages. All right, so thank you so much again. As I said, even those of you who are working in a bank, you need to put yourself in the shoes of the customer. You're not giving your money to us, it's our money. You're just a gatekeeper. Just before I end, I have a question. If we have not done KYC and re-KYC, I think this is a good suggestion. What do you guys think? Leave in your comment. What the bank should do is, they should send us right now, as per RBI rules, they're supposed to give you a 6-month time period, by which time you will come to the bank. This ICUC, we all see bank, but doesn't have any online facility. They will not come to you. You have to go to them, even if you're stuck in Dubai, and even if Iran is bombing you because you're in Dubai, you have to come down to their branch and do it. Yeah, whenever. Till then, you will not have access. Your online is frozen. Your online banking is frozen. Mind you, no tabs work, right? That is the level of thing they're doing. Okay. Even in the recent judgment with the Rajasthan High Court, the court has passed saying that you cannot freeze with until there's prima facie evidence. That is for even criminals, not normal common man citizens like us. So I have no idea. If you ask them, they say no, it's not frozen, you can even update it online, but no, none of the tabs work. So they need to see what internal lag they have between their tech teams and their customer interference managers and officers, right? But anyways, at the end of the day, we are suffering and our money is stuck with them, and we are unable to have liquidity, and as small and medium sized enterprises, we are unable to pay salaries, right? So who's going to take the brunt of it? Because of which even I might decide to close my startup, right? So anyway, so coming back to that point which I went off track, I think one of the suggestions should be that RBI should probably, hopefully, this is what I think, right? Nobody has to do anything. You guys leave your comments. We can give it in as suggestions. One thing should be that the banks, if you don't give KYC or re-KYC, which is supposed to be twice a year now, once in 2 years now, whether you're in America or here, you need to come down to your bank, okay, in India, physically, no online. Why can't they do online verification? Which some of the banks do take in, so I appreciate them, okay? But this should be the system, ideally. Do you guys agree? Yeah, where they should tell us, you have not given your KYC, your re-KYC basically. So take all the money in your account and move it to another bank. Okay, please send us the other bank to which you want me to move your money. And they should close our account. That should be the process. They should close our account. If you have not given re-KYC, why are you holding my money and freezing it? I don't want to use your if I have not given for 6 months, I don't want to be with you guys. Unless I say I want to be with you guys. You should give me the option to remove my fund and move it into another account of mine. And I don't want to do re-KYC with you. I don't want to have an account with you guys, you know. Because when you give, you have not given firstly any notice as such. A notice should say, this is a notice. Today is February 1st. 6 months from now, okay, Feb, March, April, May, June, July. From August 1st, you will not be able to access your account if you do not update this KYC. It should have the detail of how much time I have to update my KYC, from which date of which month my account will be frozen so I can't use it. Without all of these details, how is it called a notice? Right? And neither my branch manager called me reminding me of it. Why we talk about other different things. We were in touch at around the same period about regarding a property that I want to sell, and he was interested to buy. So why can't these nincompoops be reminded when they can discuss other things with us to also remind us of KYC? Because it's not necessary that the person who is supposed to do KYC or the staff who's logging in might be able to tell. Because everybody has family challenges and there are deaths in family. People are admitted to hospital for heart or stent. You know, there are bombs happening now, wars happening. 6 months is still too less a time. If you have a stupid staff, they're not going to, probably bring it to you on time, right? So there are different issues that happen. What the bank should do is tell, from today you cannot access the online portal, but please remove your funds. We will give you the option to remove all your funds to another account. That's the right thing to do. So then I remove all my funds to another account. If I want to work with your esteemed ICUC VC bank, I will give my KYC and restart using it again. But I'll be grateful that you allowed me to remove my funds. But what is this? You are bullying. ये तो bully हो गया. You are bullying us by holding our funds and freezing right to life. Right to living. You're stopping the right to life by holding our funds for us and our teams. Very bad, very bad. So do you guys agree that what we should do is have this sort of a rule that if people are not giving KYC once in 2 years, they have to come directly to ICUC Bank, it seems. Directly, face to face. And update everything. No online. They won't come to you. Whichever part of the world you have to come. Okay. So if people are okay, if people are not okay with doing that, ICICI firstly should have the notice given from the first notice telling today is the first notice, 6 months from today's date, which will be August 1st, you will not have access to your account. They should inform us that. That is called a notice, because even when a court gives a notice, anything gives a notice, they tell you please appear on this time on this date. Only if a time and everything is mentioned and the notice has the word this is a notice, it is a notice. You know, you just having a pop-up, you have hundreds of pop-ups when we log in. Hundreds of pop-ups comes, hundreds of app updates come, still your apps hang. You know, hundreds of time you have server maintenance, all that. Of course, it's a part of the system running, your tech system running. We not complaining about that. So there's every possibility that the person who has to do the transaction, the accounts person, will just skip and will go and they'll do their transaction. You know, unless this is clearly mentioned through SMS 6 months before from the first SMS. This is second reminder. You will second reminder. You know, March. Second reminder, by August 1st, you will not have access to your account. And August 1st, when you stop the access to the account also, you say, we have stopped access to your account. Please update your KYC. Please, you have the right as an Indian citizen, as per RBI guidelines. Hopefully, this happens in the future. It's my dream. You can remove your funds into another bank account. Please give your bank account or UPI. And they should transfer out all the funds out. Right? So I basically can't use it. You cannot lock my funds. I'm Vijay Mallya. Huh? We're all Vijay Mallya and we're Nirav Modi. You're sitting and locking our funds. And it's not like there is no detail for you about the person, right? For 10 years, we have banked together. During this, before this KYC period only, I am talking to the branch manager about buying my property, yaar. How much more lousy can be? Who's the one who's denying now? I submitted the documents 3-4 years back. How much more lousy can they get? They're lousy, unprofessional. He is lost probably. He's probably done rocket and put it out into the Palavakam Tiruvanmiyur beach with both our documents. We were fools to travel all the way and give them. That was also again, you know, change in partners, which we very, very like good children, good student, first rankers. You know, every time we come top, go and update everything to everybody. These all, it's time. It's time all of these things change. It will slowly happen. Please leave in your comments what you guys have experienced. And this is mainly for a forum for people who have suffered in the hands of various financial products with various banks, especially focusing on IC, UC, VC, because they have 1,700 videos on their YouTube channel, all disabled comment. I wonder why. I think if they open the comment section only, RBI will come to know what all so much is happening there. And they themselves will take steps, I think, you know, what is needed to make it easier for the common man to survive in our nation, for entrepreneurs to build robust, solid business. Should I be building my business now or doing this? It's okay. I plan to be an entrepreneur till the age of 100. So, 2-3 साल इसके लिए हम निकालेंगे तो ठीक है. It's for the nation. So be it. Yeah. Thank you guys. Bye. See you. Namaste.